Alright, day one of Queer Lit Readathon. Look how pretty the colors are on this book cover. It's like almost a bi flag at the top, but unfortunately there's orange, which kind of ruins it. We've got Kool-Aid with caffeine in it and also sugar-free. And I'm on my way to work. Sad day. And Adam's car is broken and beeps a lot. Constantly, actually. I don't know that I'll actually get reading done at work because my lunch is like 30 minutes. And not only is it hard to like eat and read, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to concentrate on reading when there's like I sit outside at a picnic table, but sometimes there's like other people that come and sit there. And if I feel like there's any eyes on me or there's just like someone next to me that could potentially be watching me, like I can't read. I'm constantly like, oh my god, someone's reading it over my shoulder. When the reality is no one gives a shit, but it's just like my mind. Well, as you can see, it's super hot right now. And it's not going to get any better anytime soon. I'm not going to wait till 9 p.m. when the temperature drops 8 degrees. So it looks like I'll just have to do my run now. I did not get any reading done at work today. I decided not to take a lunch. So I'm going to go for my run. And then when I come back, try to get some reading done. I'm back. For those of you that don't know, I go on a run. I try to go on a run like every few days. It used to be every other day. Actually, it used to be every day. But yeah, it kind of went down to every other day. And now it's a few times a week. But I'm trying to get back up there. And just like get back into shape. Because I used to be in really, really good shape. Over the summers, I would go on like night runs. So it was easier to like do a lot more miles. I just ran probably like 3, but it's like 80 degrees outside, so yeah, look, I'm glowing with sweat. I'm sorry, but I just started We Set the Dark on Fire, and literally one of the sentences, refusing to allow her palms to perspire. Like, how do you even do that? I get what they're going for, but that seems literally physically impossible. Okay, I'm calling it now that this Kerman character is either gonna get assigned to the same household as her, or she's a love interest. I can't decide. Possibly both. But yeah, calling it now. So I know for the purposes of the book, they're probably wanting to leave sex out, but I just have to point out that they're saying that childbearing age is around 20. Definitely not, but we'll just go with it. So my second prediction for this book is that Carmen and Danny are going to kill Mateo. And the reason I think this is because it literally says when the widowed wives, or whenever their husbands die, some of them still live together. And that would be really, really convenient if they're already in that situation. Like, they kill him and then they just get to live happily ever after. So, calling that one now. So I've been reading for like an hour. I'm 100 pages in, which is pretty good, but I'm falling asleep on the couch. So I'm gonna call it a night. So it's day 2, and apparently I'm just ignoring the Queer Lit Readathon in favor of writing fan fiction and eating macaroni and cheese. But hey, at least it's gay fanfiction, right? Day 3 of the Readathon, and I'm getting back into We Set the Dark on Fire. And now that it's like my weekend, like I realize it's the middle of the week, but now that's my weekend, I'm hoping I'll be able to get a lot more reading done in the next few days. Guys, amber complexion? Is she like Hispanic? Is she black? Danny's brown, guys. Mind blown. Also blessed. Okay, Carmen. Her finger was just described as golden brown. So they're both brown. Are we gonna get a romance between 2 brown girls? What? that literally never happens. Or is everyone brown in this world? I don't know. First of all, vulpine is a pretty advanced word for a kid's book, but secondly, there's like a comment in here about Soda's eyelashes being way too long for a boy's, which I mean like is a pretty common thing in books in general, I feel like, or just something that people say or think, etc. But I'm like, is Soda really a girl? Is that the love interest? Because Carmen kind of seems like a bully. I really thought maybe it would be like a love-hate type of thing, but maybe Soda's a girl in disguise. So that would be really cool if that's what's up. Oh, we're getting naked in front of each other, guys. It begins. Jesus, this Mateo guy is really, really aggravating. He's like every misogynist and sexist guy all like packed into one. It's just like, this scene is great, but I also like hate him with a burning passion. Christ, I am glad that she got out of that situation without it escalating to something physical, because when he said that she owed him or whatever, I thought it was gonna be, he was gonna like force her or like try to rape her or something, so glad it didn't go that dark. But that's obviously like the analogy they were going for with that scene, so yeah, guy's a total prick. I mean, she's definitely doing the right thing by betraying him. I'm sure it'll have unforeseen consequences, but they're definitely going for a comparison with, like, the US-Mexican border, I think. Ah, perfect. Carmen was making fun of Danny to cover up her own weakness, kind of like gay repressed Christians being intense homophobes, kind of like that type of thing. So, yeah, that actually makes sense. Not sure I immediately forgive her, but you know, at least there's a logical reason to it and not just hates you for no reason type of thing. The old almost kiss. Classic. Kind of annoying because I really thought they were gonna kiss, but, you know, I'll forgive you as long as they do eventually. My god, you guys, the quote at the beginning of this literally sounds exactly like the Bible. It says, though a wife must obey her husband must respect his wife. In this way, they remain equals in the household and peace is kept. So one thing I'm glad about happened in this book is that they made Danny smart enough to realize that Carmen might be tricking her by doing a 180 with her personality. Because usually book protagonists are really dumb, and I can't stand it when they just, like, don't see obvious possibilities in front of them. So I'm really glad that the author made Danny realize that. I mean, I really don't think she's lying based on her interactions, but, like, it's also weird to so quickly switch up what you're doing, so I like that the suspicion is there. Wow, I didn't think we'd get a masturbation scene in a YA book, but apparently I was wrong. But I'm kind of here for it, because I feel like when she talks about the teacher's voices in her head, blah blah blah, the shame, I feel like that's really something that probably a lot of like teens can relate to, just because of our like very sexual and yet also like sex phobic culture. Go Danny, get it, girl. They left that wide open for a sequel, I'll just say that. But yeah, I don't think I'll be reading the second book. And I have to say, I really don't think I like this author's writing style. I mean, I didn't really talk about it throughout the book, but her descriptions are just like corny and bad. Like when she describes the differences between like their body types, like Danny and Carmen's body type, I mean, like that's just a perfect example of like how bad I feel like the writing is in here. And I like, you know, what she tried to do with Danny sympathizing with people who cross the border, and like it's all just very appropriate and timely considering like Trump trying to build this wall to keep people out. And I like the whole aspect of the primeras and the segundas. Like I really liked that division, and the women were supposed to fit into these specific roles, and it was either the cold, intelligent, calculating, or the person that's just supposed to be like the eye candy, which I feel like really is two of the roles that women are sometimes limited to in society, like the virgin and the whore dichotomy. You're either sexy or you don't exist kind of thing. And I really liked Danny kind of fighting back against that and realizing that she doesn't have to fit into this Primera mold of being cold and calculating. Like she can have, you know, love too. She can be intellectual and have love and passion and all that stuff. And Carmen with her glimpses of like, you know, she's not just eye candy. She's not just wearing these dresses and being pretty and sucking up to Mateo or whatever. Like, she has intelligence. She's been with Lavos the whole time. Like, Lavos, I feel like, could be compared to something like Anonymous, just like underground resistors. Like, there were a lot of parallels to real life things, but I feel like there was more that she could have done with it. And honestly, like, having the primeras and segundas being called mistress and then Senora, like, that was confusing. I was like, which one is which? As I was reading, I wasn't even bothering to really remember who it was because, like, I was getting them confused because they all had the name Garcia. I mean, the whole time she's kind of questioning, oh, is Carmen... It kind of gives it away, the fact that she's constantly questioning, oh, is Carmen... Like, every time one little thing goes wrong, she's like, oh, is Carmen betraying me? Is Carmen betraying me? Is Carmen betraying me? Like, and then, you know, it turns out that she had this secret the whole time, and I mean, like, you kind of see it coming, just predictable. So, like, I like the threads that she, like, started with and what she was trying to do with it, but I don't know. And I like the romance. I like that they just did, you know, they didn't really take it all away. It was just, like, a lot of, like, kissing, basically, which I feel like is pretty, like, my first relationship was with a girl, and that was kind of how it was, like, just spent a long time, like, making out and shit. So I kind of like that. I feel like it was... Maybe it's not everyone's experience, but it was true to my experiences, so I liked that a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm lacking something, and maybe it's because this has been, as I've said, I don't like series, or I know it's only a duology, or gonna be a duology, but I just feel like it was lacking something, and I just don't know what it was. Maybe I just wasn't satisfied with the other characters that were supposed to fill out the story. Besides Mateo, I did think he was a good character. I like the scene where he was drunk, and also just, like, the glimpses of the rage that we get from him. But, like, everyone else, both of the people from Lavos, I feel like were described as being, like, fox-like in different ways. Like, one had fox eyes, and one had, like, a foxy face, and I was just like, oh, what's with the fox stuff? Like, we get it, they're sneaky. You don't have to say fox, like, every time. And then there's also some imagery of Carmen being a snake, which I guess should be more foreshadowing to the idea that she's keeping a secret. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just thought there would be, like, more of a definitive end to this kind of rebellion, and this really wasn't a satisfying conclusion. Maybe that's why it feels lacking. I don't know. I'm honestly still trying to figure it out because obviously vlog format, I haven't, you know, had a whole lot of time to process my thoughts, so maybe I'll figure it out more as I have some time to think about it. But yeah, I'm not sorry I read it, but I do think this author's writing is lacking. I don't know if this is a first effort from her. I'll honestly have to look up and see. But yeah, that's my off-the-cuff thoughts on finishing We Set the Dark on Fire. And I forgot to mention that, yes, we are on day 4 of this readathon, and yes, I have only read one book. Don't judge me, guys. Look, my copy of Orange is the New Black is signed and made out to Michelle. I mean, I'm not Michelle, but one thing that I noticed immediately is that her vocabulary is, like, unnecessarily refined. Like, you don't have to prove to me that you went to Smith College. Like, it's okay. Like, honestly, I don't know what peccadillos means. I mean, I can guess from context, but, like, I'm about to look it up. So we're going to Waffle House, so I'm gonna put my drink in my fancy new water bottle so I don't look like such a douchebag bringing drinks into a restaurant. I mean, it's still douchey, but at least they don't know I'm being a douche. It could just be water.
Douchebag.
But, like, y'all, yerba mate. Drink it. It's so good. It's light pink. Shit, I also got a new microphone. I haven't opened yet. Hopefully it's what I was supposed to get and actually works good because I have to record a video today. Time for me to make lunch for the week for probably the first time ever. It's just gonna be the same thing every single day. Turkey sandwich, yogurts, get the chew bunny, and sun chips. Guess I gotta, like, divide them up, but yeah, I'm just gonna make all my lunches right now so I don't have to worry about it, load off my mind for the rest of the week, because what happens is I tell myself that I'm gonna wake up and make lunch the morning of, and then I never do. And I end up just starving for the entire week, which only contributes to me being a grumpy piece of shit. had to use the heels, which sucks. And also, like, half of the lettuce and spinach was soggy. But good enough, yo. Used all the bread. It might have been kind of redundant to use cheddar cheese and then have cheddar sun chips, but I give no fucks. So we were just at Waffle House, and there was some kind of weirdness that happened that I wanted to just, like, talk about really quick. So basically our usual server wasn't there, so that immediately sucked right off the bat, and we got, like, a random girl. She was mixed. We kind of sat down in a booth, whatever. She came over. She seemed kind of, like, angry, but I mean, I didn't think that it was at us. Like, I thought she was just didn't want to be there, having a bad day. You know, I used to work service, so I understand just the whole mentality and dealing with people all day. Like, it really sucks, especially when you're not cut out for it. So, like, I understand a little bit of, like, I don't know, tension, I guess. But, I mean, like, she kept throwing me and Adam weird looks, I felt like, and was just being kind of, like, short. Like, you could just tell, like, her heart wasn't in it, and she wasn't very friendly, and etc. And I felt like it wasn't just that, because the looks that she was giving us were thrown at me. It was thrown back and forth between us, and the only thing that I can figure out is maybe, like, the fact that I was there with Adam, who's obviously white, and maybe she was just weirded out by seeing us together. And I feel like there's this weird kind of suspicion where it's, like, you're looking at me like, you know, I betrayed the race or something, like I'm dating outside the race. But it's like, even if you feel that way, like, I don't know, you don't have to make it so obvious. Like, it was just a bad vibe, like, kind of lost my appetite a little bit. Like, I didn't want to be there. Like, I was just uncomfortable with the way that she was looking at us and kind of, like, treating us, like, skittishly, and it was just altogether, like, bad vibes, and I really don't know what it is. Like, I don't understand this rejection from other black people that I'm constantly getting. Like, even when Adam's not there, like, the other day, I walk outside to go on my break. Like, I usually walk over to the gas station that's near the hotel where I work, and there's, like, black girl sitting outside, smoking a cigarette, whatever. She was right in my path, so as I walked past her, I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I got no response. Like, I get ignored all the time when I'm just trying to be friendly, whatever. But, like, it feels personal, you know, when it's, like, another person, like, you think another black person would understand. Like, I've had this before, too, like, you know, they make comments about your hair being good and stuff like that. It's like, I think you think these people that are, you know, have the same experiences as you, like, the same type of experience with racism, etc., would, like, get you, but no, it's like, they treat you weird, too. It's kind of like I talked about, like, you don't fit in either way. Like, white people are suspicious of you because they think you're a thug, and then other black people are suspicious of you because I don't even know what the reason is, but I just get, like, these bad vibes where it's like, I'm just trying to be friendly and have good vibes and be a good customer. Like, I want to be a good customer. Like, I understand working in retail. I understand dealing with bad customers. Like, I'm going to be nothing but, you know, friendly and nice, whatever, good tipper, etc. But it's like, when I'm getting these vibes, it's just weird, and I don't want to be there, and I'm uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to come back. I don't want you to serve me. Like, I don't know, man. It really just, like, bothers me and just reminds me of that constant, like, I don't know, I constantly feel like there's just an undertone. Like, there's just an undertone to every conversation and every interaction. Like, there's some unsaid thing where people feel a way about my skin or what race I am or just something about me, and I'm tired of these, like, undertones and these, like, body language, these conversations that are happening in body language, like the conversation under the conversation, like the between the lines. Like, I'm tired of constantly having to read that and be aware of that and being very uncomfortable because on the surface they're having to act like nothing's going on, but they're not good at it. Like, you can tell, kind of, but I don't know exactly what's going on because they won't just state it, they just can't come out with it, whatever. Like, I'm tired of having to have the subtextual conversation constantly about me. Like, it's exhausting. Like, I'm exhausted. Guys, I'm a total idiot. I just opened the microphone that I bought, and I guess I didn't read the description well enough or look at the picture. And look at this. It's a dual lavalier mic. So there's two. Like, if you had two people talking, this would be really useful, but, like, I really never have two people. It's usually just me and occasionally Adam making comments. So, like, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I'm not gonna send it back, but it's gonna look hella dumb. Maybe I can just, like, cover up one of them or just clip them both on. But, like, God, I'm fucking dumb. Read before you order, guys. Like, it's probably gonna be a waste of money to send this back considering it was, like, $10. And these microphones, honestly, they're really big and look really solid. So, like, yeah, I mean, I feel like it would have been good if only I'd read the fucking description properly and it wasn't a dual mic. So I'm about to record a video, which means green tea. I would like to drink some. I'm gonna use my festive rainbow mug because Pride Month. This thing of green tea I got from an Asian market. And what I used to make tea, which I don't really have a teapot or anything, is this discontinued thing I got from Teavana, which was like the Starbucks chain that was exclusively tea. Like you could go in and buy loose leaf teas, but I believe they closed down / went out of business, so I don't know that you can still get this anywhere, but it's pretty cool. Pour it fast so it doesn't spill, and I still spilled. Pour it in there, close the lid, that's it for 1 minute. But yeah, this is a good way to make tea without the tea bags, which aren't very environmentally friendly in the least. I think Adam got me this for birthday or Christmas or something. Okay. And the reason I only let it sit for a minute is because I noticed it gets really bitter if you let it sit any longer than that. So when you put this on top here, it like pushes the ring down and then the tea drains out and the leaves stay in there so you don't get any leaves in your tea. And that's how you do that. I need sugar. I use a tablespoon of this cane sugar shit. So I just got done recording a video, and this was my boyfriend's solution for the double mic, is just to stick it in some soundproof, well, the one I wasn't using, in some soundproof foam to keep it from making noise while I was recording with the other one. So yeah, that should work. And at least, you know, even if that's kind of annoying, at least I'll have that if I ever decide to do, you know, kind of a conversational video with more than just me in it, which might actually be a good idea because, you know, it could be boring, you guys. It's day 6 of the readathon. I've only read one book so far, but, I'm about to, it's kind of basically the end of the day. I had a short day at work and then went and met up with some friends that are in town for the summer, and now I'm about to settle in with Orange is the New Black. I have got some tea because I've already had a lot of caffeine today, but I know I'm gonna have trouble staying awake if I'm gonna read in bed, so cup of tea. Hopefully stay awake enough to make a little bit of a dent in this book, since it is starting to get a little bit more interesting. I already know that Piper is a viewpoint character. Like, I get she's supposed to be generic and relatable and not a criminal, or not really the type, so, you know, the common person watching the show can, like, relate to her, or reading the book, I guess. But, she kind of annoys me. Like, okay, the whole reason that she even gets into the smuggling the drug money or whatever is because she was dating a girl that was involved in this drug conspiracy thing, as is depicted on the show. And then later on in the book, when she meets Larry, she describes herself as ex-lesbian, which kind of just, like, annoys the piss out of me, because I don't get how it's ex-lesbian. Like, you can't be an ex-lesbian. You're either a lesbian or you're not. People who like to pretend their past, like, gay relationships didn't exist really annoy me, and I even dated a girl one time that's now like that. Like, she's like, I'm an ex, you know, like, has that same kind of mentality to it, and it just annoys me. It's like, why can't you just not admit that you're sexually fluid? Like, getting with a guy doesn't mean you're now straight. It just means your sexuality's fluid. You could be, like, I don't know, just, like, not acknowledging it and wanting to just, like, sweep that away because I'm this other clean, good person now. Like, it just annoys the living piss out of me the way that she describes herself, like an ex-lesbian wasp. Like, literally, I'm pretty sure that's the phrase, and yeah, I could already tell I'm going to be annoyed by Piper, but I mean, the writing is, I guess, a little bit more engaging, and I'm excited to meet all the girls at the prison and see the similarities and differences to the show. So she's eating I don't know how to say it, foie gras sandwich, like leftovers or whatever, in the waiting room, and I had to look up what that is, and apparently it's like the liver of a fattened duck or goose that's been force-fed, so, like, they have an extremely fatty liver. Like, okay, A, liver, B, force-feeding, overly fattening them seems, like, super unethical. Like, I feel like it's just supposed to be a contrast. Like, she's eating this
fancy food while she's waiting to be admitted to a prison. It's supposed to be like this funny, ironic thing, like she doesn't really belong here, but just like eye roll. I feel like my mentality towards this whole thing is just so different from back when I watched the series. Fuck's given. I don't care about your fancy, fattened, disgusting, hipster, upper class dish that you're eating as you wait to be admitted for a crime you committed 10 years ago. Like, I don't care if it's 10 years ago. Fuck that. So, the Queer Lit Readathon actually ended yesterday, but I didn't record, like, a closing remarks or anything like that, so I figured I would do it now. I actually only finished a book and a half for this readathon, but I guess it's not surprising considering it was only a week long. And I mean, it's Pride Month anyway, so I'll probably just keep reading through till the end of June, especially because I have a couple books I want to get to. And I guess that's going to conclude my Queer Lit Readathon vlog. Hope you guys got something out of this, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another video. Peace.